Oh, that's a dangerous tool to leave open. That was wild. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden. And today, I want to get into a little bit of terraforming. But before we do that, I want to respond to one of the comments I got from Kaiser Teddy. They recommended I lower the taxes of our media offices. Kind of like Toronto, make it like a little bit of a tax haven so we get more media companies in this area. Now that we've got that in place, I am going to go ahead and make a purchase of 3 tiles of land. We're going to grab these 3 guys here. It's $134,000 a month upkeep with $130,000 initial purchase price. It's a little expensive. And again, like this is $200,000 less than what I was making the last time I loaded the same exact save game. So couldn't tell you why that is. We're going to see if we can stay profitable with my recent purchase. I'm not sure if we will. But in the meantime, let's think about building out a little bit of the canal system. We're right along this lake, and I would like to try to get some kind of canal system in place. Mainly because, this map is very flat. There's a little bit of a mountain here and a mountain here, but this central valley is quite flat. And I was reading that cities that are really flat and close to the sea level sometimes would build canals as a way to support with transportation before they had trains. It was much faster to move goods on a boat. But also, they would do it as a way to help with stormwater runoff so that the city itself would not flood. So I'm thinking we're going to take that approach. We're going to be building a canal because we don't want the city to flood. Now that we've bought these 3, though, I do want to expand this area of Market Town over one more block, just so that we encompass the market in the center of our little Market Town area. So let's go ahead and grab our avenue here. That'll give us 12 there. And then along this row here, what I'd like to do is, I guess, do I do my terraforming first? Is that what's going to help me here or no? Because I'm thinking we're going to have the water come in from this side. It's going to come in and go up this direction. So why don't I do this? Why don't I grab our slope tool, actually, before we do that. Let's connect this in right to here. We can turn off bikes for this. This is really just going to be a guide. So we're going to get rid of that dirt road here in a second. Let's grab our terraforming. And let's go from here down to about here. We're going to bring this 100 meter size piece all the way over to there, just like that. Now, we'll come back and we'll smooth this out and make this look nice in a second. Now we're going to reduce this down to 80. And I'm going to grab the level terrain. And I'm going to grab this level. And I'm going to move this terrain all the way along here. And basically give us an 80 meter section. If I was to then go to our ferries and grab a narrow boatway, does this fit in here? At the moment it does. At the moment it does. Let me go ahead and just fix this because we don't want water on this side. Don't get crazy here, people. Don't get crazy. Now, with the keys, I've never been able to, I think, build these successfully. I would just like to build a road. It has a key on it. 2-lane is totally fine. And I would imagine I'd upgrade. But see, it says in water, which, like, that's part of what I don't get because that's just a regular road. Like, of course it's in water. It's a key road. I still don't understand it. But there we go. We've got a 2-lane road here. Let's go ahead and grab a loan. I never grab a loan. But I'm going to take a $200,000 loan. Yeah, I'm going to take a $200,000 loan. We never take a loan, but we're going to do it now. Because what I want to do, we're just going to place this ferry depot. It's not permanent. It's not going to stay. In fact, I'm going to place it, and then we're even going to turn it off because I don't really need this. It's just there for a proof of concept. Because if I had a ferry stop along a quay, could I just connect this into said stop? I could. And then you can either stop here and keep going, or I imagine you could go right past it. Okay, so this works. That works. Okay, so we've got this kind of coming in this direction. Now, the next piece I want to be kind of mindful of here is I want to see a bridge go right here. But if I have a ferry passageway going right through here, I'm going to need a bridge that can actually go over top. It doesn't need to be a drawbridge or anything, but what do I need to do to get these bridges? Grand Bridge, large roads. These are all large roads. These are 6 and 8 lanes. These are all highways. Train. Okay, so really we don't need any of those other bridges. I would just love to have like a nice 4-lane bridge. Maybe it came from here. It's 20 meters high, right? Like if it was just like bam. Like how do I make you not suck? Like let's just place that and see. It's a lot of metal, but I don't mind it. Especially as we like continue to grow this. Now, I don't think I lined these up correctly though. Hold on. Actually, I did line them up correctly. All right, slope is too steep, so we're going to have to start deleting some things. This is expected. This happens. As we grow our city, things are going to have to change. We're not going to place anything on either side. We're going to leave it just like that. And now that we've done that, I think what we could do instead, is this is a one-way road going this way. So what if we just, let's briefly pause this, and instead let's turn this road into a one-way going this way. It does give us kind of a tight double intersection, but it does fix this problem. We can go ahead and hit play again. And then we can use platter, maybe 3 deep, 6 wide, and then we're going to want to do, I think we're going to do medium density Netherlands, or maybe at this point we shift. What if we did medium density United States housing? No, that doesn't work here. We're going to shift into a different style very soon, but I think this is just going to be the row homes. I think the row homes make total sense. So then, if I snap this to other platter pieces, look at that. That filled in so nicely. Okay, so now we've got a bridge there, which already looks amazing. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this side here zoned out. I'd love for this to come over and we build a road that kind of mirrors the edge of the tree line. Since we don't have a lot of deviation or changes in height, I'm going to use some other features of the land to kind of inform some of these changes. What if we did this? What if we grabbed our fish, we build the passage here. Oh, it's becoming winter. We need a drawbridge. How does that work? How much space do you need to create the drawbridge? Is that enough? Oh, there we go. Okay, you need a lot of space for this. Crap. Distance too short. I just want to kind of connect right there into the center. Just like so. So now we have a drawbridge there at the front. It did bring some water up here, which isn't ideal, but I think this is going to all be covered with a key anyway, so that's okay. Okay. Then we're going to get rid of this section of road, and we're going to do just the slightest curve, snap to existing geometry, and snap to some of these angles. I don't even know if we need the curve. Okay. Okay. I see what's happening, and I like it. I was going to have this follow this way, but I have a better idea. So let's do this first. Let's go and get this down to the ground. I think we're going to go out 200 meters. We just need to go straight 200 meters exactly. Bam. All right, now that we have this in place, we've got 2 bridges kind of changing the way our city is looking. I'm not mad about it. Let's figure out the canal on this side. Now for this edge, what I'd really like to do is build a pedestrian canal. We've got a wide key with pedestrian path, concrete block pattern. We have a shallow rib and we have deep rib. I'd love to do the shallow rib. If I turn everything off but snap to kind of the water sides, can I, for here, send this basically straight on down? Does that work? Beautiful. And then if I was to go with the constant slope, it's just going to dead end because then we've got this kind of sandy area here. And now, here we go. Here we go. This is the wide key. So let's go ahead and go to pedestrian paths, go to wide paved path. What I want to do is I want to use the tree line as my guide. So this area here is going to be a park in the future. So we got the Keyshore Park, nice and big. It's kind of even, you know, in terms of size, it's comparable to some of the neighborhoods of our city already. And while we're looking at this, we've got Market Town here. I do want to expand Market Town all the way up to the water's edge. And then we'll go ahead and take Harper Park and expand that to the water's edge as well. So we've got Harper Park, we've got Market Town. This is Riverview. And I think Market Town will actually come down and encompass this area. Just because there's not really an easy way for Riverview to get to this section here. So I think that makes sense that that's a part of Market Town. Okay. Then we've got this shoreline. I don't know if that's going to have a district or not. It might not. Okay, so now we've got something happening. I'm liking this. How do we want to finish this area out? I almost want to take this road and connect it over and under to give more connections. So let's figure out how we would make that happen. I guess I could just take a regular road with the concrete block style. Let's snap to existing. And let's just see what we can do here. If I was to bring this out and start curving it, just like so, it says it's in water. But like, as we know, yes, it's supposed to be in water because it's a key. All right, we're going to build this with Anarchy because it doesn't seem to want to build in the way I want it to. So let's go ahead and bring this out to here. Go ahead and curve it over to here. It's way too high. Don't exactly know why. We're going to go ahead and curve this. Do we just cut this off? Or do we send it so that it like really interacts with this corner? Part of me thinks we have a nice sharp curve here. Let's go to just constant slope. I wouldn't want to interrupt those islands there because I think they're pretty. But if I got rid of both of those, and then we were to just maybe send this out straight. Maybe we send it out straight again, a little bit further. Snap to the position. Then here, go ahead and snap here and connect right up and in. Now, let's use Move It, because we're going to have to make some changes. Turn Anarchy off. Hit M for Move It. Let's grab this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Set all of these to this height. Much lower. Much better. Much better. Look at that. The water is right up along the key wall. Now, can we fit? Hold on. Hold the phone. Can this road go underneath here? If it can, that's, oh my gosh, huge if true. Huge if true. Okay, this is going to come out straight to here. I'm going to send it over to connect to this area. It's saying it can't because it's in water. So this section's going to require maybe more Anarchy than I like. But you got to do what you got to do, I guess. We'll give that a little bit of a curve. And now that does make me feel like this needs to be a neighborhood. We have Riverview, we have Marketown. I mean, I guess this is just a part of Marketown. Now, there's some, terraforming I could do to make this look nicer, but we will get there. We will get there. I like that it's a little bit thicker here. It does get a little bit smaller the further in you go. We will have to figure out how else this, like where else this continues to. Because at the moment, I don't really know. I don't have a plan just yet. But I do think I can imagine this breaking off into two different pieces. One that would travel, maybe this way and end up over here somewhere. And then one that goes maybe over this direction and along this kind of terraform line here. Maybe even ends up over at C. I don't know yet. It's the beginnings of something, though. It's the beginnings. I think what we need to do now, after taking 9 million years to build out a key, I think what we have to do now is begin to figure out how we zone this. I am going to extend this key here. We want the pedestrian wide key shallow rib. We're going to extend this straight on out to here, just so that it's well underneath of our road. Then I want to have, we've got this large park here, so I'm going to want to have a lot going on right here. I'd love to have a avenue along this side. So let's see if we can make that work. I'd love it to be a split avenue with bikes, like doing all of the things. If I turn all the snap twos on, I can connect here. I need to go into this area. Okay, let's try this. Can I come straight down here? I can. We're going to come to straight down here. We're going to then give this a curve right here. That's going to go basically along the same kind of trajectory as this road here. And now that we've got platter, I feel a little bit more comfortable making roads that are maybe not so perfectly straight. Like that's got a little extra bump in it, but I think we can work with that. So now we've got a main avenue coming along this direction. We would also then, I mean, we're working with basically no change in terraforming whatsoever. We would also then want to have another set of roads that comes off and connects through. Now this first one is just going to be a regular 2-lane road. Turn bikes off for now. We might come back and upgrade with bikes in a moment, in due time. But for now, I want to do this without bikes. And now we've expanded to the opposite side. Now what we need to do is connect up to this pedestrian path. So let's grab the wide path. Do we actually want to use... Oh, crap. There's also one that has a bike lane on it. Oh, crap, crap, crap. I think I want the bike lane on it. So now what we can do is basically turn everything off. And let's go ahead and get some connections going. We're going to send one straight out through here. We're also going to send one, I think, straight out through here. I wouldn't mind actually connecting to the grid to do some of this. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, her.
I almost think, really, Keyshore Park just became the largest park I've ever built in City Skylines 2, because I think it's going to go all the way along this edge here. I don't know where it goes from there, but now we've got this large park right there on the side. I wonder if I just throw some rocks here, if that's going to make that look real nice, because it just might be all we need. Okay, we got a huge road layout built out. I don't think we actually have water going over there. We don't. Let's go ahead and change that. I'm just going to do it here in the middle. And we'll build in a redundancy as well a little bit further down. Let's go ahead. How much do we have left? If I were to repay this, just pay it off. Okay, so we're making money now. We're doing great things. We're making a lot more money. I don't know exactly how. But now what we got to do is add in one more district. I think this whole area here is going to be its own district just inside this block. Vermont Square. No. What was the name of this palm tree? Sylvester Palm. We can name it Sylvester Square, or we could just name it Sylvester. What I do want to figure out is, I guess we should finish out this area. We've got demand for a number of things. I think we spend the rest of the day at least finishing Market and Harper as best as we can. We are getting some demand for some medium density, and I wouldn't mind, or some high density, and I wouldn't mind doing some more of that. I imagine this area here needs to become a park, no? What's our park kind of coverage look like at the moment? Oh, they got these. So you know what? Let's do some higher density stuff here. If I was to go into high density, what are our options? We have low rent, which I don't necessarily want. Have I unlocked high density for real, though? No. All I've unlocked so far are low rent. So we got to keep that in mind. We got to keep that in mind because I don't want to build things I haven't actually got yet. So let's build a low rent housing. These are all high. Low rent housing, Chinese, European, French, Netherlands, those are high density. All right, let's do the regular low rent. I wouldn't mind doing like something large, like something quite big. 6x6 might be too big, but a 5x5 could be something new and exciting. Place a 4x5 right here, and then place a 4x4. No, let's do a mixed use here. Let's switch it up a little bit. Mixed use housing. We've got all of it. I think what we could do here is USA Northeast mixed use housing. We do a 4x4. It's not exactly water's edge, but like that's okay. We're going to get some higher buildings here. We've got a parking area right along here. That's great. This has room for 171 residents, which is phenomenal. We're dealing with some of the commercial demand. What I imagine is going to happen over here along this avenue is I'd like to use the NA mixed Old Town style. Is there another Old Town, or is it only... It's only a mixed use, which is fine, but I don't want to build that out right now today. Instead, I want to keep my focus maybe over here. Now, we did have some trees along here. I don't exactly remember what trees those were. Maybe here, all of this is the Sylvester palm, because that's what's on the islands around this area. And then when you get over here, does it stay Sylvester? Actually, I think it stays Sylvester. We transition over. This is a little bit further inland. I mean, barely, but I'm happy with the transition, the change there. We do need some more office and some more commercial. I don't have high density yet. We need to get to level 9 before we can get either high density office or commercial. I can see some big buildings right here. Let's see how this is looking. We got 2 of the same building, but that, that happens from time to time. We can't do anything about that. This building here is fine. It's fine. Let's see if I give this a little bit of love, if we can make this something better. Okay, that's a little bit nicer. I don't hate that. And I like the brick that's matching kind of between those two guys there. All right, with that, let's see where we're at with unemployment, because I have a feeling things are going to be getting a little precarious. If we check here, we've got 3.7% unemployment. Let's get some more commercial and office in here. We've got demand, more private motoring, higher gas station demand, high skill labor available, which makes me think I want to go ahead and get more commercial before I go any further. If I was to do NA mixed housing kind of in this area, we could send them 4 back. I mean, is there anything that's this large? There is. No 5x5. You have a 3x3. You have another. There we go. We could do something like that to give us like an interesting group of things. That's NA mixed housing. We also have low density offices, which I don't love, but I understand we need some offices. I would love just to have, I keep doing the wrong thing there. I would love just to have a regular NA low density business. All right, we're getting some of those NA buildings in here. Let's actually do a few more of those. I think they look pretty nice. They're now all facing these outer roads, so they have an alley in the back for parking, which I think is awesome. And now we're really starting to get some height here along the front of the water, which is perfect. While those are zoning in, I think we need to look at some of our services just to make sure we're getting the right coverage we need. And then I think we need to add in some additional services to support, because some of our biggest problems are unreliable mail, traffic, unreliable healthcare coverage, unreliable internet. Mail we could easily fix. I don't necessarily care about our roads, although I could say it would be nice to have a road maintenance building. They're $15,000 a month upkeep, only $75,000 to build. In terms of size, I mean, I could fit something like this right along here. Has low noise pollution. Weird spot for it. Weird spot for it along the water. However, this is keeping it pretty central, which is nice. Or we kind of build this out over in this area somewhere. Maybe over, like, out back this way. Near the movie studio. You know what? No. I am going to place it here. It's kind of industrial, but it's kind of not. But it just gives us like a nice larger building there, which I think is a fun change in pace. And we can add the add-on to provide a much larger fleet with 5 additional vehicles. I don't need that yet, but I'll take it while we've got it. This is great because, oh yeah, what do we got here? What is this? This is a low-density NA building. They sell beverages. You're not making a profit, but I like that there's a parking lot kind of included. Speaking of, we should build a parking lot somewhere that we eventually come back and we get rid of. Healthcare could be improved. Now, this is not limited to any specific district, but it's already overtaxed. We've got 25 patients, and we can only support 38. So I'm going to take this small clinic and restrict it only to be able to work in Old City, and hopefully that helps with some of the patients. But we're going to need another clinic of some kind. We've not unlocked hospitals just yet. The small clinic does 25 patients. We have some other clinics, though, that definitely have more options. The Japanese has 100 patient capacity. And that could go kind of along here, along the water. We also have the Modern Medical Clinic. It has 90. Medical Clinic, 100. USA Northeast Medical Clinic, 230. And I think that's kind of a nice transitional style as we're slowly moving over into some of the more modern buildings. This could be right here along the water's front, though. I think that kind of looks really nice. And then we have an add-on here that gives us the option for another 120 patients. This is like low-key a minor hospital. I think with something like this here, though, we would need a parking lot. And so I believe right behind here, I'd love to have a dedicated parking lot. Do we want to try to make our own? I know we always try this and then I get frustrated and we don't. But like, what if we tried again today? Like, what if we had this here? What if we turn all this off? We have this go here, right? We do something like this. I meant to download the transparent parking so I could build better parking lots. But part of me is like, we've got this. Let's figure out how to like make this work in our favor. We could do this. It's not what I meant to do. We could do this. We could rotate this along the edge here. Just like so. Oh, we got livestock exchange. Our livestock industry has gained renown outside our city. We need a place to plan events and facilitate meetings between buyers and sellers. Okay. I don't hate it. I'd say let's do this. We'll give this a curve. If I was to connect this into here, it would limit how much parking we've got. But I don't think it's a bad thing. Because then we could also bring this down like this. Bring it along the edge. Bam. Right? Right? Then we need a two-way entrance. We could place right here. Because now you can go in, go around, and then come back out, which is perfect. Gives us space in the middle for plants. Let me just take a minute, mess around with this a bit, and see if we can not make this look a little bit nicer. Okay, so now we've got like a little hospital area there. I don't exactly know what to do with this little section. I am thinking I might just go ahead and fill it with a bit more trees. There we go. That's not too bad. Okay, we're getting more people in here. We are having our first set of trash problems popping up. So that's not ideal. How is our cemetery doing? Still doing okay. Only 65 people have deceased. Great. Let's now go ahead and keep moving through this. I haven't done garbage yet. We're going to get to it. Our schools. Our high school is nearly fully enrolled. Our elementary school is also nearly fully enrolled. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove Market Town and we're going to remove Harper Park from our elementary school. Our high school does all 4 districts? Yes. Now we need a new elementary school for this district here. I wouldn't mind doing, it needs to fit and be the right size. I would love to use the northeast one over here now that we're starting to transition styles a bit. But I can't do that with the block sizes we currently have. Oh, man. It's just like 1 too short. There is the UK Urban Primary. It holds 500, which is not going to be enough because this Netherlands one holds 1,000. I definitely want it to be closer to 1,000. We could do the Urban Elementary School. That holds 1,200. It's 125,000, so it is a bit expensive. But what I could see us doing here is if we had the Urban Elementary School maybe over this direction. Can it fit here by the drawbridge? No. It could fit here. We place the Urban Elementary School there. We limit its districts to Market Town and Harper Park. And what's nice about this is if you live in Harper Park, you just come right down Hawthorne Street, you turn over here onto Lilac, and you're at the school. And I think we go ahead and change this section of Hazel Street into a parking road. Let's do perpendicular. Let's go ahead and upgrade this. And if I just snap to everything, can we just, bam, place that there. It's additional parking for the school. It's not too bad. I wouldn't mind putting a little park behind here. I think this area is lacking in terms of parks. And maybe it's just athletic fields of some kind. Where are my, like, sports? None of that's sports. None of this is sports. Am I crazy? That's not sports. Large parks. Sports parks? Tennis courts. Oh, we got to unlock the sports parks. All right, let's unlock sports parks. We've got tennis courts. We could fit one. We have an outdoor gym. Pretty small. Nothing really remarkable. Skate park. Not really for here. Or we could do like 2 basketball courts. I think we're going to do a tennis court because we're going to place it right along here. Maybe we place it right there so that there's a gap in between. We can then go in. Can I do the wide? We can. I think we can. We can do a wide pedestrian path right through here. Lots of crosswalks in this area, but I think I'm okay with that because this is a school block. And actually, I think we also upgrade this section of Moore Street to be all parking. So we're surrounding the school with parking infrastructure, which is great. Let's go ahead and add in this pedestrian path. And yes, we're going to let it there be crosswalks for both. I think that looks nice. Let me just give this little area some grass. I think the school, maybe it wouldn't be mowed per se, but they would want to have some nice grass along the outside. So we're going to put some grass there. Let's give this a few bushes, a few trees. They're not too bad. Can't really place any there. That's okay. So now we've got a nice school here. Perfect. Oh. What did I just do? Rotation. Was that how you were facing before? Oh, that's a dangerous tool to leave open. That was wild. Okay. Oh, I like how this is starting to come along. These 2 blocks here, I think, need similar height to what we've got going on here. So let's see what we've got demand for. We have demand for most things. I think what I would want to do is maybe use some of the mixed use. Although I say that, and look, our demand for commercial is already going down. If we're going to do the mixed use, I'd say let's just use the USA Northeast mixed housing, only because this is fitting this area really well. All right, there's no 6x6 or 6x5. There are a number of 6x4s. So what if I placed a 6x4 right here? And then we were to place... There is no 3x4. Come on. Man, I'm really like lucking out here. Let's just fill this whole edge. Why not? It can't hurt. We have one here. No, we don't. There's not one that's that size. Of course not. This is the same crap all over. No, 5x4 fronting. It's not giving me the 5x4 option. Let's do this. We're going to go to buildings. We want mixed use housing. Give us a filter. We want a 5x4. And it's going to be the... Let's start with level 1. Keep it simple. We've got this level 1 and this level 1. Oh, yeah. I want this level 1 right here. This is perfect. Just going to slide this right in here. There we go. It's not a perfect corner piece, which is probably why the other one wasn't letting it zone there, where Platter wasn't doing it. Now I am concerned that this is going to be exactly the same as this, which is possible. Maybe what we also consider doing is we bring in some of this northeast low density. Just like that. All right, that's going to fill in this whole block. While that's zoning in, let's just slap down some trees in here. We might be able to fit an oak in there. We can. We love to see it. We can fit an oak or two over here. And then we can also stick in a few of these. What were these again? These are the chestnuts. I'm just going to pretend they're people's backyards. But we're not going to do all that much. You're not ever going to really see any of this. Let me fix this surface really quick. How is our school holding up? 61 students versus 762, and you are at 885. So that's going to become a little bit of an issue because you do have the upgrade, and I don't have any more availability for you. Trash is becoming somewhat of a problem. The last thing I want to check in on doing is I want to make sure we have post offices. We haven't built any of this yet, and that's one of the major complaints we're getting from the residents. Traffic and unreliable mail service. Now, I am curious. When you say traffic, kind of where's the congestion? This is traffic volume. Traffic flow is all around really good. Like, I'm not seeing the problems you're claiming to see, so we're not going to stress about that. Let's just do a post office. We have the Netherlands post office. I've actually never built this, but this would also work because a lot of our city so far has been Netherlands style. It supports how much? What is that? Historic post office. Oh, $500,000. That would be amazing, but it's so big. A Dutch post office, 50,000 storage capacity, 500 mailbox capacity, 12 post vans. I say we start with this. I wonder if we cannibalize like an empty space. Although I think this is going to look really nice if it's kind of interspersed with other buildings. So let's find a somewhat larger block. Some of these blocks are a little small for this. This block right here would be perfect. We could take this whole section over and it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Or we try to stick it inside of a block where we could disguise the two sides of it. So like right here, it could have houses on both sides. It does have a little bit of noise pollution. And I want to be mindful that this area here has this nice park. So I wouldn't want to mess that up too much. Maybe this goes more in the heart of the city where we're at right now. These are some low density houses. I think they're easy things to replace. Let's go ahead and place this right next door to this larger building. That's an alleyway though. Yeah, it's going to go right here. It's going to go right here. I like that. This is now going to service this whole area. I think it would be helpful if we added in some post boxes. So let's see. We've got a hospital. I think a post box over here would make sense because a lot of people are going to come visit the hospital. Maybe we place it along the side road. Okay, then we've come over here. We've got an elementary school. A lot of people are going to go to the elementary school. And we've got the farmer's market area. These are some of our larger buildings, so maybe we place it here in front of some of those larger buildings. Down here, we've got a lot of residents as well as this larger commercial, our road maintenance building. So let's also place one over this way. If you're collecting that, you could come down and around and loop over and maybe grab it from here. Or maybe we place this along closer to the river's front. Over here, we've got the actual post office there, but it wouldn't hurt to have just 1 or 2 post boxes there. We could have one over here by this larger building, as well as down this way near our high school. They're a little close together, but that's okay. We could place one over this way, place one over here by our commercial on either side, place one near this elementary school, place one over here near our cemetery, near some other high-rises, near these unique buildings here, place one over here, and place one maybe over here right off the main road. There we go. Now, we are starting to see that traffic back up here. Lots of people are coming in this direction, trying to turn over here. I think this light can go. We don't need this light. This is causing unnecessary traffic. We also don't need the crosswalks here. That can just continue straight. I think we go ahead and upgrade while we're looking at this. This is a major entrance to the city. We don't have large roads unlocked yet. I'm going to go ahead and buy them. It's probably going to give us our upgrade to level 7. But let's buy the large roads so that we can go ahead and upgrade this into a 6-lane divided road right here. We don't want to mess up any of our current infrastructure that we've got, but that'll give us some dedicated turn lanes. I'm actually thinking we do that for both sections of this road. Once you come into the city, you've got a much nicer entrance point. I do think now that we're getting all this set up, we could begin to connect more connections to this highway and maybe change this highway out a bit. But I think we'll have to see what that looks like in the next part. We never finished this little area. I'm not exactly sure what's going to go here yet. Have we dealt with the demand for mail service? Unreliable mail service is -4. It might take some time for that to take effect. Because if we look at our postal, we still have a lot of people who are upset, but we now have vans out and about. So I think it's just going to take a matter of time for this to happen. I guess maybe what we do along this edge here, we've got more than enough opportunity here to just send out a ton of low density, medium density row homes. But I wonder if instead of doing the Netherlands at this point, if we actually switch this up and we do the NA medium density row housing. If I just search row, I only get row housing. We have EU, NA medium. Oh, we have the USA Northeast. I don't love the Northeast style in this game. Do they go 4 back? Should we just limit it to 3? We can have trees behind it. We could have a park. We could have a parking lot behind it, which would not be a bad idea. You've got row homes all along that section. I know we've got a lot of parking here already. Level 7. All right, we're milestone 7. We're a busy town. This does give us Gusto Gelato, which is fantastic. And we've got this other signature building and this signature building. Great. We won't get high density to level 8. That's okay. I mean, I guess we could look at these 2 new buildings we got. We did get a few in here. We also have the steakhouse. Plus 20 meals, plus 3 well-being within 500 meters. -1 import cost citywide, -1 attractiveness. We could think about having a steakhouse right here on the corner. It's been there forever. And now I could come back in here with platter. Hold on. We come back in here with platter, and we do a few other row homes right along here. I was going to do tiny little offices. A tiny little parking section. But I actually think instead, I'd rather place just a few houses right along the edge. Although these ones here in the middle don't build. So that's not going to work. So we'll do this instead. We'll put some trees in here, and this will look nice and complete. Get a little steakhouse in here. That's perfect. I don't know what's going to go here. For now, let's just do some row homes. I think we're going to have to come back and make some changes. But I think if we did row homes here, it would work good enough for the moment. I think what we can also do is we can try to make it a little bit more interesting than just having row homes. We can come in here. That would be a 2x2. That's perfect. And we can give it just a little extra connection. And then using platter. Now, I think this is how this works. If I go here and I click on NA medium density row homes. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do the EU ones just for fun. But then I click platter. It's auto-selected the EU, which is perfect. All right. Let's go 3 back here. We're going to basically place all these here. If I also connect right to the other platter, we'll lower that down so I can fit in a 2 there. Here, if I reduce this, we can fit 4. All right, for now, it's just like this little neighborhood, you know? It's probably not going to stay this way long term. If I get rid of this, will these other 2 finally build in? There we go. It's probably not going to stay this way long term. I think this area is just like, it's too high value to be single family little row homes staring out over the lake. But for now, I don't really know what else would go there, and I think it just lets us fill this in a little bit nicer, but that looks pretty decent. So now we've got, we got other people complaining about garbage. We got to address garbage next time. That has to happen. We do have a little bit of traffic. What is this right here? It's this little alleyway. There's a bit of traffic. Why is that? Are you guys having some issues? We've got a city car here. Are you waiting for someone to get out of the way? Or are you just stuck? I mean, that's what happens with these little alleyways. They're not always the best. They do cause issues from time to time. It's backing all the way up. Eventually, we might need to get rid of this alleyway if it's not going to serve us. You know, we can make the blocks a little bit bigger. But for now, I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. If we ignore the trash and the traffic, this is a pretty decent expansion. And now we've got a canal that we can set up ferries on in the next part and start kind of moving some people around. What's actually really nice too is that the bigger buildings we've got so far are all kind of closer to the water. So I think a ferry could be really useful. I also want to think about building out kind of a commercial district over here or an office district here. And then as the city grows on both sides of this canal, we can have some larger buildings here. We got another fire going. Are people coming to take care of this? Let's see where they at. There's our fire truck. Moving and grooving. You're stuck in traffic though. So that building very well might burn down. This is not good. There's a traffic jam because of this vehicle. And I honestly think the vehicle is frozen. There we go. That vehicle was stuck. Oh no. The vehicle was stuck, which is causing an issue, and now that building burnt down, but it did get rebuilt, which is great. All these buildings here are on fire. Is anybody going to put that out? I also wonder if some of these 4-way intersections that just have the 2x2s need lights. Right now they don't have lights, and I think that might be part of the problem. If I was to add lights to all of these, I'd say these are minor intersections, but they're not the alleyways. These 2 we won't do. This will do, this will do. I won't put these on alleyways, but I do think we might benefit from having some more lights in the downtown. Let's get all these lit. Okay. We'll see what that does. Alright guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.